Hi, this is Monte, and welcome to our first tutorial in 2014. Tutorial number 5, and we are going to expand on our subject, the mixing subject. But before we're gonna start, make sure you check my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, my Twitter, and SoundCloud. Go there for updates and extra information. Make sure you check all the previous tutorials I did, because we use that knowledge for this one here. Let's hear it. That's the track. So let's go through all the single channels we have here right in the mixer. I'm going to explain every single one. So let's start with the kick we have here. Nothing really special, like I explained in the first tutorial with kick and bass. Just have an EQ cutting some high frequencies up there we don't need. Okay, I open up now frequency analyzer, our best friend, who tells us about the peak in RMS. Very good kick. Okay, second channel, a hi-hat. Oh, good. That was actually a bass drum, but I just needed the upper frequencies from it. You see? Now we got some attack. Third channel. Okay. Ah, that was also a kick, but I filtered it out. Okay. And all the three together. You see? The levels are very important in this, because if it's too much kick, then it would disturb the groove. Okay, now I have a shaker. It's not that loud, just to give it a bit of movement. And I use the sidechain for the shaker. Now we just have the end from this shaker groove. Okay, what I use for a sidechain, well, I use the ES1, a synthesizer. Okay, why are you using a synthesizer? Well, that's actually very simple. With a synthesizer, I can determine the length of the trigger signal. You see, with the noise, I have a very clear trigger signal, which is just fourth notes, as you can see in the editor. And I can paint the length of every trigger signal, of every note. I can even make a rhythm out of this sidechain thingy, which is very good and flexible. You still have to set the correct release time up there to make the signal come back in time. Now you hear the difference. Okay, I added the hi-hat. Nothing here in the channel. And I panned it slightly right. Now we need the off hi-hat. Yeah, definitely the louder signal. And the shaker, which kind of dominates the whole thing. You can hear the difference. The hi-hat adds the attack portion to that hi-hat stack, so to speak. Okay, let's hear it with the kick. Oh, that looks and sounds good. Kick is still the loudest signal here. So let's go to the drum bus. Right now, the limiter doesn't do anything in the moment, but when the claps come in, you're going to know why. Okay. A stack of claps. I run that channel through the SSL, and that one makes it sound tight. This is without. Whew, what a mush. Much better. You hear it? I got rid of the low ends and high ends and compressed it because the SSL compressor is a really snappy dude. Now check the stereo image. I also decreased the stereo field because it was simply too wide. Okay, a snare drum. Got rid of the high frequencies. And a snare drum for myself. And I filtered out the 30 Hz bump on that signal. And as you can hear, the snare drum has also a clap and a tambourine in it, which adds more richness to the sound. The first two signals are run through reverb. Right here, as you can see, small, tiny clap reverb, called it. I used the Space Designer for it. Really tiny, it just extends the end of the sample. And I made the first clap still louder than the other two signals, because it just fattened the sound up. This is just the reverb. A gated reverb. And sometimes, like in this example, I buzz the clap sounds because I can process all the clap sounds on one channel, which is really good. Okay, I added a bit of 1K to make the clap come out a bit. There you go, the snare drum from our peak RMS tutorial. You see, now we have a very dense but still defined clap snare drum sound. As you can see on that channel, I have also an EQ, which takes out the low end. That would be too much. Yeah, we just need that noisy character of that snare. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, the clap stack is not too loud, now without the snare. Yep, sounds definitely better with. Okay, let's have a look at the drum bus. The limiter knocks off maximum 3 dB from the signal every time when the clack comes in. -5. That's a lot more peak. The sound doesn't change and we gain more RMS. Great, 3 dB extra. Now we have kind of a constant peak on the drums. When you would bring that up to 0 dB, the drums itself will have already club loudness. Okay, let's have a look at these claps. Okay, they run through the clap reverb, and I added a bit around 4000 to give it a bit more definition. And of course, the delay as an effect. I also panned them slightly left to get them out of the regular claps in that track. Okay, so far so good. Let's head to a favorite element of mine, the tom fill, especially the Simmons tom fill. Here we go. Ah, wide and big. Cool, huh? Let's analyze this one. Switching off the low cut. Some unwanted low frequencies. And adding high frequencies for more snap. You see, the noise portion of the sound comes out better. I think you recognize that the sound itself comes from the ES2, right? I think we're gonna expand on this on a special sound design synthesis tutorial. Because I think that will help you to create any sound on any synthesizer. Okay, what else? A reverb. The Lexicon 480. A classic 80s reverb unit. Okay, let's just hear the room. Now all together. It adds really depth to the sound and fattens it up. We're definitely gonna expand on the reverb in another feature tutorial, but let's have it just for now like this. Lots of mix engineers say that they use delays to fatten up the sound. So this is a perfect example on how to do that for percussive instruments like these toms. So I created for each tom a separate bus and put a delay effect on it, panned to the opposite direction of the tom itself. First tom left, second tom middle, third tom right. Just the toms with the delay. Have a closer look at the values of the plugin. 55 milliseconds and no feedback. Kinda neat stereo effect, huh? Okay, what happens when we increase the volume of the delay? Even when we increase the volume of the delay, we still can hear the original source of the sound, which is on the left. Okay, let's hear all the three with the opposite panned position. You see what happens? It widens and fattens up the sound. We add an extra layer of reflection here. You heard that effect on old Genesis albums as well. So go check them. So I also put that delay signal through the Lexicon. Okay, I think that's perfect for now. The reverb on the toms is not long, 400 milliseconds, and a short delay effect. That's it. Instant 80s, so to speak. Okay guys, we are through with the drums, and in the next tutorial we're gonna expand on the melody elements.